And here we are again on Fish Eater Friday with another question. And this one has been asked me in different ways in the past. And one last possible discussion question. Do you think there is going to be a time where you go to Rome and claim the seat of St. Peter, and are you the rightful heir to St. John Lateran Cathedral? St. John Lateran is my cathedral as Bishop of Rome, St. Peter's being my chair as successor of St. Peter. And yes, I would like to go to Rome. And I have visited Rome in the past. So the question is there a time when I'm going to move to Rome? And I'm not sure. Popes have been exiled in the past, 70 years in Avignon, for instance. The Babylonian captivity, it was called in history. The Pope is Bishop of Rome, whether he resides in Avignon or, as one book says, New York City, or in this case, Topeka, Kansas. I am currently in exile. I am Bishop of Rome, in spite of the fact of not being in Rome. St. Athanasius was in exile from his episcopate. And so, will I go to Rome? And that's where we get into prophecy. It is possible that Rome won't be there to return to, because a possible one way of reading the prophecies is that Rome will be destroyed for its sins of the great apostasy, the complete defection of the faith of the bishops at Vatican II, for instance, and then everything that's flowed from that. And I won't go into great detail there. But it's quite possible that in the next few years, Rome will be flattened by Almighty God. Whether it be rebuilt or not, I don't know. There are some who think that the Pope will eventually return to Jerusalem after the universal conversion has happened. And I'll get into prophecy some other time. But I would like to move to Rome if that is God's will for me. And so I'm leaving that in His hands. And He hasn't indicated to me at the moment that I will be going back to Rome. I would like to also go to the fact that unlike some popes, I have actually seen Rome. Christmas 1977 saw me in Icone. That evening, after our second Vespers, we left by train and arrived the next day, the Feast of St. Stephen, in Rome itself. We visited St. Peter's. St. Mary Major. Trying to remember what all we visited. We were there for about 2 weeks. Main place we did go to was St. Peter's and a few other interesting things. A lot of stories I could tell about that, but I want to tell this one story. We were in St. Peter's several times, and I'm standing there in St. Peter's, and I felt something, and it was different. It's the immensity of the building, but that's not it, because I had been, at the time of my confirmation, a year and a half before, May of '76, in the Houston Astrodome tour, because we had a little extra time on that trip. And it's also an immense building. But we understand the doctrine of the real presence and blessed sacrament. Well, in this case, I felt an absence. It's like something was missing. I couldn't explain it at the time, and I don't know that I could explain it now, but it's like something is missing that should be there, and of course, the Blessed Sacrament wasn't there anymore. They were saying the Novus Ordo. But I think it was more than that. I mean, it just really hit me. And so someday I would like to go and reconcile St. Peter's and St. John Lateran and all the other major basilicas, because right now they're in the hands of heretics. So I imagine it's going to happen one of two ways. Either myself or one of my successors will return to Rome and reconcile these basilicas, or God's going to destroy them. And I would lay it more likely to the fact that God will destroy Rome, because Rome has asked for it.